Hey everyone, how's it going today? Welcome to another episode of Chatting with Javi. Today I'm going to be putting some stuff together. Hey Mike, how's it going? Ed, good to see you. I'm I'm just screwing these connectors on. Finishing up a panel here. Yet another one. I've got a few orders. I'm behind. I want to make sure that I knock them all out this weekend. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, and 4 is right here. How's everybody doing today? Life is good, folks. Life is good. Been a little bit rainy over here today, so I didn't get my jacuzzi time in. But hey, I got to do some cleanup in my room and stuff like that. Ah, you didn't get the second box yet, Mike? Man, that sucks. I mean, let me see the condition of that. Hang on a second, because that's really upset me that the other day they didn't have it. Did they just forget to mark it down, or? I mean, I know it was labeled properly, and I dropped it in the drop box. Hang on. Let me look at that tracking again. Okay, remind me not to use click and ship on Sunday. Okay, no problem. Because it's undergoing maintenance. All right, here we go. And Mike. Sorry, Michael had to go down to the second page. I just shipped out a bunch of stuff. Copy. And go to tracking. Hey, here's somebody coming in, and that would be Russ. Hey, Russ, how's it going? Welcome, welcome.
Hello, everybody.
Hey. All right, let me see here. I've got, it says here, ship date 9/21, delivery address, okay. Acceptance cutoff. What the? Scan form, delivery status, in transit, arriving late. I don't know if you searched the tracking number, Mike, but it says in transit, arriving late is the status. So that makes me feel better. Oh yeah, okay, you did say that. I just read it now. Sorry about that. I was searching for the thing. Good evening, Paul. Let's see. So yeah, I was a little worried because I know that. Let me put this over here. I was a little worried because I know that
Chris.
Hey, Chris. That Chris was with you on the other show.
Yeah, he came in right there at the end.
Oh, okay.
I had to wait till Herb came back to take over the chat watching duties, and
gotcha.
that's why I'm a little late.
For us, no biggie. Yeah, I was worried. I was telling Mike I was worried about because originally when I first shipped all the packages out, they all said pre-shipment, which means they got it, but they're sending it, And then one of his said pre-shipment and everything fine. The other one said, actually, one of them said it was already in Opelika in the hub, And the
Mm-hmm.
other one said label created, not yet scanned or
Right.
something or
Yeah.
other. And that was like the entire 24 hours like that. So that was weird that they didn't get to it. It was, I mean, I dropped off 12 boxes that day. And
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
Well, they'll
yeah.
eventually end up going where they're supposed to. So
Yeah, the way I figure is maybe they missed that one and then they just continued it down the line, and then one of the things down the line will eventually get scanned, but you know,
mm-hmm.
that's what I'm guessing. But
Chris
apparently
said he
it
has 2
says,
tablets going.
yeah, oh, that's a beautiful
Yeah,
thing.
I guess you're watching both shows, huh, Chris? I told Charles. Herb said he back to finish with the chat, and he said he'd be over here watching the show. I said, "Yeah, you got spies in the group now, Charles. They're gonna be watching me. I be careful what I say."
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You haven't. This is the first time I think we mentioned Charles, other than when Charles was on the show.
Yeah.
By the
Mike
way,
said he
folks,
had lots.
for those of you watching, if you need scroll saw patterns and you didn't see the show, tune back to a few Saturdays ago. I had Charles Deering on, and he makes fantastic and very detailed scroll saw patterns that could be used for, and often are, for CNC projects. They're
Yes,
really
and they
cool.
make most of them make excellent CNC patterns.
Yep.
Woodenvisions.com.
Yep. Woodenvisions.com. So good old crazy Charles.
Chris said he said for now he's watching both, but he's got to get some stuff done. No spying.
Yeah.
I told Charles I'm gonna tell you. I said I'm gonna say over here that got a couple of spies in there watching.
Well, let Charles know that we plug him whenever we can. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Oh yeah.
Well, the whole community.
His patterns are top of the line.
The whole community's full of good guys. I don't know a bad one in the lot. Sometimes they don't get along. There's, like, every family has, their little disagreements, but squabbles, disagreements, whatever, differences of opinion, and sometimes people get butthurt. But in the end, all good guys. Anybody that says differently is probably one of the few bad guys.
Mike is saying he had lots of issues with the USPS system lately.
Yeah.
Well, that used to be my day job. Now it's just my retirement money.
Yeah.
Which I thoroughly appreciate.
Yep. Won't catch you saying anything bad about your former employees.
That still puts a little sugar on the plate every now and then. So
yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
I was talking about something the other day after you had told me you had to do your schmoozing with your for your other businesses.
Yeah.
And your Brazilian steakhouse, and I can't remember who I was talking about. And I said, God, I can't afford those $150 a plate steaks. I'm gonna have to have me a hamburger.
Well, the thing is, I mean, it's a catch-22 situation. I mean,
yeah,
I don't want to say you don't get the jobs if you don't have it, but let's put it this way: it helps, and it's because of those jobs that you can afford it. And so, I mean, in the end, I mean, it's
I've got a question for you when you get through.
It's a completely different situation than the average either government worker or 9-to-5 job,
right.
In general.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's the question?
Mike asked, can JaviBox driver drive two steppers for the Y-axis in parallel?
That's what it does.
I'm not sure. Yeah, is that what it does?
Yeah, yeah. It's exactly what it does. It's both
One driver
both
for
one.
two drives,
Yeah,
two
one drive.
motors.
Well, wait. Stepper
That's the way I'm
step,
taking the question.
stepper drivers? No, absolutely not. Uh,
Can the hobby box driver
controller,
drive two steppers?
controller. The controller can drive two stepper drivers.
Mm-hmm.
One stepper
Mm-hmm.
driver should never be connected to one motor. You're going to run into major problems. First of all, one stepper motor, if just not even counting the problems that could arise with backfeed from one motor to the other. If you have have a good one, Chris. I see you're leaving there. So if by any chance you have a hang on, let me see what number. What I'm trying to go with the colors while I'm chatting here. One motor will backfeed into another, and cause some major problems. Number one. Number two. Let's say that wasn't the case. Let's say you could put some electronics in there, which I would do nothing less, but I'd put some electronics in there, and then so it just be a couple of simple diodes, so that way there's no way one motor
Mm-hmm.
can backfeed, or not no way,
Yeah.
but it shouldn't. Then you have the other issue. A driver is anywhere between whatever you set it at, really, but let's assume 3 amps or 4.2 amps. Now you're powering two. That just cuts the amperage in half for each of the two motors. So now the most you can get is 2 amps on both those motors. And if it's a heavy pull and it demands more than that, you're not going to get it. And again, it all goes back. It's a
Okay.
whole.
Now he wanted
It's
to
a
rephrase
whole
his question.
cluster. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
His
I need to drive
rephrasing is, I need to drive. Yeah. There you go.
2 steppers on the y-axis. Can the box do that? Yes, absolutely. That's okay. Here you have the box. All right. So the box here, you've got X, you got Z, and you got Y and A, or Y and Y prime. These are your two Y's. Your two Y's are linked together in this box. If you want them otherwise, I'll be happy to wire them that way. But for the moment, they are connected together. They will run in the same direction. Hopefully, if you're wiring your own box, if you didn't wire them the same way, they'll always run in opposite directions. But that just takes a swap of wires. So, and someone asked me the other day, they wired their own boxes and they just ordered the Javi box without the wiring, and they had that problem. They had one Y going one way, one Y going the other way, because they had wired them differently. And I said, and they're asking me, what checkbox do I put to reverse it? And they go, there is no checkbox in the world you can put to reverse it, because if you reverse one, you reverse the other. So no matter what, they're always going to be running in opposite directions. The way to do it is simple. Switch positions of the black and the green. Switch positions of the blue and the red, one or the other, or swap the black and the green with the blue and the red. In other words, put the A on the B and the B on the A. Any one of those three combinations will invert the motor's direction. And but on one motor. And then you got them both running in the same direction, then that's fine. Let's see here.
I'm curious about the question because
good evening, Bobby.
The edit was that it sounded to me like he was trying to use one driver to run two motors, and it sounded to me like he was trying to, instead of slaving it like you do in Mach 3 and all that, slaving it, the A to the Y, trying to get away from that and just use one driver instead of having a driver for each motor.
Right.
That's the way I took it. Now, unless
Gotcha.
I'm wrong.
You're slightly wrong, slightly right. It's a matter of nomenclature. What happens is he's saying steppers. Okay, steppers are not stepper drivers, or at least he corrected himself. What was the first one he said? No, he also said steppers the first time. Can it drive two steppers? It's a little ambiguous because sometimes when people say steppers, they mean stepper drivers. Most of the time, when they say steppers, they mean stepper motors. Steppers usually means stepper motors, usually, but you could interpret it different ways. So it's one controller connected on the Y, paralleling to two stepper drivers, each one driving one stepper motor. So you have two I mean, I'm talking just the Y now. You have two one, obviously you only have one controller. You have, speaking of which, I didn't pull my controller out. Where's my controller? Oh, I didn't have one in that box. Well, no problem. I got a million.
You got one controller, you got two steppers, two stepper drivers, and then two motors.
Right. I got one controller, two stepper drivers, two motors. Yep.
Yeah.
And that is exactly the way it works.
Motor each.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
I just took that a little differently when he asked the question. So that was where I was a little off.
A little cornfuddled. Yep. All righty. Where did I put them? I put a whole bunch of them.
He says, Mike says, I don't want to drive the Y-axis on one side of the machine. It needs to turn two ball screws.
Yeah, yes. That is normal. That is normal, like for a Gatton or other such machine. That's what my box does. It runs 3-axis, 4 motors. So it's really 4-axis. It runs 4-axis, but one of them is tied together.
The two are
slaved. Which is the Y.
Yeah.
One of them is slaved.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sweet. Just checking the fitting here. Very nice, very nice. All righty. Okay, where was I? Oh, yes. Yep, that's the way it works. So what you been up to, Russ?
Piddling in the yard today. I did a little work outside for the wife, so that made her happy. So I'm allowed to get on the internet at night. I took another branch off a tree, so I got one more left to go.
You jokester, you. What a trick.
Mike says, what I didn't want to happen was asymmetrical pull on the Y-axis, and it sounds like it won't be an issue with your box.
No, not an issue at all.
It wouldn't be. But the way it was worded at first, it made me think that you were trying to use one stepper driver to run two motors at the same time.
Yeah, which won't work.
Which is not what I was. No, that's not going to work. See, that's what I thought when you first said it. So.
Yeah,
I'm glad you did me.
Let's see here. Input number 1. And here we go. Yeah, I'm looking forward to. Shoot! Now I got to open these up.
You still didn't get your screwdriver?
No, let me go get it. I'll be right back. It's on the other end of the house. I know exactly where it is. I'll be right back,
David
folks.
Jones just popped in.
Hey, yeah, Squid is here. Yeah, it's you. I'll give you 2 seconds. Let's see, Russ. Did you ever get that
All right.
poison ivy?
Nope, I still have it. You want some? I'll be glad to bag it up and send it. Get rid of it at my house. I've been cutting it back here and there, and I still have to go get that poison that was mentioned to try to knock it down. But it's getting pretty wild and woolly behind the shop, believe me. Well, everybody got quiet all of a sudden. I'm thinking, I told my wife about that poison ivy. I said I was thinking about renting a small track hoe and going back behind the shop with the track hoe and using it to just scrape the ground to get it up. Don't know if I will. Yeah, Mike, not everybody is allergic to poison ivy, but I'm one of them that is. Yeah, David, church quiet. Yeah, you're right. For a second there, I said, what? Everybody shut up. Don't do it now. It makes me have to work and he don't pay me to work. Man, I'm glad you're back. It got so quiet while you were.
You're glad I'm back? You got so quiet?
Yeah, it got quiet.
That happens. Yeah, it's exactly 145 feet to where I needed to be.
Well, David Jones says you don't have the super chat button.
Oh, you're right.
If you're on YouTube, are you streaming to YouTube?
Yeah, that's right. Now I have the. Hang on a second. Where do I set
Big
that
D
up?
just joined us. Hello, Dave.
Hey, Big D. Happy to see you. Yeah, let me go over there because now I can. Now that I'm on YouTube, which is a beautiful thing.
What spray did you use, Paul? I've asked a couple of times, and I've gotten a couple of different spray poisons to try. So I want to see if somebody can give me one that has worked well for them.
Okay, let's see here. Branding, that's not it. Feature eligibility, enabled features. Okay, that's fine. Upload defaults, advanced settings, yada, yada, yada. Monetization, here we go. Non-skippable video ads, I don't want that. During video, no. Okay, that's not it. Permissions. Community. I wonder where it would be. Well, let's take this moderator off. Just clearing out stuff. Hidden users. I got a bunch of hidden users gone. Hidden users. Venus loves me. Spoon me.
Oh yeah, those are the ones we hit a long
Yeah,
time ago, huh?
yeah. Some time ago.
Wow.
Let me see. Yeah. Let me see. Community. I wonder if any of this. Nope. Agreements. Nope. That's not it. Okay. Let's try a different section then. Close this. Maybe it's under monetization. Monetization, video advertising. No. Supers. What's this? Oh, supers. That would make sense. Super chat. Okay. So manage. That's a help file. It doesn't tell
Paul
me anything.
Stewart, I've got Roundup. Is it a special Roundup made for poison ivy, or is it just a regular Roundup? Hello, Jason. Jason Spigen just joined us.
Hi, hey, Jason. How's it going? Let's see. Super.
Mike asked you what project. What process to make those name tags and the front panel? It looks great.
Click the video you'd like to upload in your computer. No, that's not good. That's what the. Oh, here we go. Studio, monetization, supers get started, instructions. That's what I just did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Marcello joined us. Hello, Marcello.
Hey, Marcello, how's it going? Let's try this again. Channel monetization, supers. Okay, proceed. Here we go. It doesn't say get started. It says no, cancel this. That's leave YouTube partner program. I don't want that. Okay, see more. Here we go. AdSense
It ought
account.
not be that hard.
Man, it's not easy. They really don't want you to
David says,
get
figure it
money.
out later, Javi.
No. Like, what am I doing? Yeah, what else am I doing now? It's not like we're doing anything. Moderate.
Okay, Paul, I'll go look for some of that this poison ivy. Thanks for that tip. Appreciate it.
Let's see what we got here.
Hey, Paul, do you think they carried that at Tractor Supply?
Oh, Tractor Supply. There's a thing called.
I was asking him about the
about
specials,
Roundup.
Roundup made for poison ivy specially. I didn't know they had something like that.
Gotcha.
I've got regular Roundup, but I don't
well,
think it's
the one I use. The one I use is super concentrated. The super concentrated glyphosate, and it's like 40%, and that'll kill everything.
Okay.
It'll
I remember you had said
everything.
something about that. Somebody else told me something else too, and I can't remember what it was. It was glass something.
Glyphosate. Okay, go to Studio, monetization in the menu. On top of the main dash, click Supers, get started. And see, that's wrong. So I go to monetization. Okay, I'm going to my studio. There we go. And then dashboard. And then I bet you it's going to take me right where I was before. Supers. Oh, there's another whole other tab. Hey, all right. Yeah. Agreement. I have read. I accept. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Boy. Yeah, I think I'm getting here. Okay.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate that. I got a Tractor Supply right down the corner from me. Give me.
I
Yeah, I bought me some
believe
rubber boots. Now I just gonna have to buy a slipper suit.
I fixed it, but I'm not sure. All right. It might take a while. I'm gonna go check my see myself on YouTube is what I want to do also. Close that, close that, close that. Let's see if I don't close the wrong thing here. And view on YouTube. And go to pop out chat. Well,
David,
as
that
far
looks
as
like if I'm reading it right, David, this is free standard delivery. They don't carry it. You have to order it there, and they ship it to the store. Free standard delivery to your local store. I'm gonna check it out anyway. Yeah, I see it, David. I was just looking at it. I'm gonna see if they carry it in store or if they have to ship it to the store.
the one I like using is I always forget the name of this thing. Hang on, give me a second. Let me search for it. It's called Drexel Imitator.
I've never seen that one or heard of it.
See if they sell it at Rural King. I don't know if it's a Tractor Supply. Sorry. See if they sell it at Tractor Supply. I don't know if it's a Rural King or thing or not. But I get it at Rural King. That stuff is deadly for everything.
Yeah,
It's 34.
yeah, I've got a Tractor Supply, but I don't have a Rural King.
And the beautiful thing is it's
Never heard of that one.
You never heard of Rural King? There's a few. There's a few around. Okay, so this one is number 1. And that's input number 1. And now input number 2. There's that one. Yep. Weeds are a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I will head down there and take a look. See, I appreciate the information. I've got it growing on top of both my shops now, and the roots are trying to slink their way inside the shops. So I've been cutting them back and bagging them up, but that stuff really gets me itching. So that's why I was saying I have to get a slicker suit. I got me some duct tape. I have to go in and have my respirator on. Like I'm going in full hazmat to get rid of that crap.
Hey, did you text Russ? Did you text me something the other day? Yesterday about Jamie or something?
I did, because I remember you saying that he was going to be on the show Saturday night. So I was on a show with Charles last night, and Jamie was in the chat, and I mentioned that he was going to be on the show, and he said, "Wait a minute, I am." And then that's what he told me. He said he was going to be busy and that he would get a message to you.
Yeah, he was pulling your leg.
But he wouldn't be here.
He
Oh,
was.
so is he
was
going to be here or not?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, then.
Don't be ridiculous.
I just let it go.
He confirmed it with me. Yeah, in fact, we were talking about it today, so that's funny. Leave it to Jamie.
Okay, because the flame thrower will work with that poison ivy, but not in my household. It won't. I remember the bad vibes that Brenda G got when her neighbor burned the poison ivy and she inhaled it. And as allergic as I am to it, that's not going to happen. I will not. I don't want to smell that crap. That's why I don't burn the.
Okay, hang on a second. Is it my turn to say? Is it my turn to say it again?
Oh, here it is.
Wimp.
Oh, go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and take that one.
No hurricane. You just, man. Hey, speaking of which, didn't you just get a hurricane? Didn't you just get a hurricane recently?
We had a hurricane recently, and we also had the tropical depression or storm, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, so I know.
I spoke to Dave. Dave talked to me.
So I know you probably ran away from the hurricane. Did you run away from the tropical storm too?
Not a chance, buddy. Manned up on that one.
All right. That's good to hear. Because
I told my wife we're not leaving for a tropical storm. No way. But no, we didn't get anything. We were supposed to get a really good drenching out of that, and we got hardly anything. Yeah. We didn't hardly get. I told Dave. I said, Mother Nature's been trying to get me.
Yeah,
and I've ducked out twice now, and this hurricane would have been enough to level this place. But that last little wobble moved it where we didn't get hardly any. It got was tropical storm force winds, and we could have stayed for that.
Yeah.
But this little rain shower from Beta, we didn't like they thought we would get it.
Yeah.
They were thinking, my little county's got a 14-foot seawall all the way around the county, and so we don't. It's got to get the storm surge has to be super high for it to flood. And what happens is if there's no storm surge, but like when Harvey came through and hit us as a tropical storm after the hurricane part was over, it stayed on top of us and rained for 3 days and never left. And the rain, what caused the flooding that we had, because it had nowhere to go. Because of the seawall all around it. Stuff. So it's a hazard and a help if you look at it both ways, depending on what we get.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, this little town that we're in got 63, I think, inches of rain during Harvey. So that was massive amounts of flooding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mother Nature was still trying to get me back then. But we didn't get any flooding in my yard. And we were
that's good. That's good to hear, at least. Let's see. This is Y Pulse.
I don't know what Mother Nature has it in for me for. I didn't do her nothing. What news on your house, buddy?
Well, let's see. We got I expect that that when I get there, they should have all the plans done. They wanted to charge me $400 for the energy calculations. I said, screw that. Thank you. Have a nice $400 to $800. And I said, screw that. Sorry. Have a nice day. Just give me the plans. And then so I'm going over to my buddy who I graduated with, and he's He's a certified mechanical engineer, and although degree or not, I don't have electrical engineer. There's electronics engineer, and then there's building electrical engineer certification. And I don't have the second. So I need to. So I need to have him take care of he's got a bunch of people on staff. He owns a mechanical engineering company. He takes care of everything except architectural plans. So while I'm having them stamp them up there, he can take care of the AC and the load calculate and all that stuff. I mean, not the load, the energy calculations. So that's a piece of cake. Let's see. Other than that, eventually I got to get together with the sewer people, with the with the septic tank and let me pick up one of these. There we go. And pulse. This would be Z pulse. And see what happens with. I mean, I have to. Here's the confusing part. Okay, here's the part that's really, in order for me to do the house, I have to include everything, including the plans for the building. I mean, for the steel building next to the house. The plans for the septic tank. Now, normally what happens, now I got to check with the building department because there's a possibility or probability that all I have to do is pull the permit for the house and the foundation or just for the house. I think that if I get zoning approved, because every municipality is different. Here it works completely differently. Up there is different. Oh, and I got a story here about code enforcement. You're going to love this. You're going to absolutely love this. So what happens is I believe if I have everything included in the site plan, septic, everything, I have zoning approve it all, and then I've got the zoning permit for everything. Then I can get the building permit. Once I get the building permit, I can pull all the little sub permits on my own in my own time, and including septic and the steel building, because the steel building is a separate permit for the garage, but I need the full plans, and that's an engineered steel building. They don't give you the plans until you give them the deposit, which is 15 grand. I'm not going to give them a deposit if I don't even know for certain that I'm approved for a building, which that kind of be ridiculous. And the septic is the same thing. The septic, I could usually what'll happen is the septic people will, I'll let them know what the master permit number is and have them take care of everything. Because it's really not worth, I mean, I'll probably save maybe $3,000 or $4,000 if I do it myself on the septic. And honestly, $3,000 or $4,000, that's not worth my time. Now, as far as the driveway is concerned, that's another thing I didn't mention. Good evening, Ryan. How's it going? Ryan, if you want me to send you a link, or anyone else, feel free to join us and chat with us live. I mean, this is not an official Saturday show. It's just us casually chatting. So feel free to chat. So on the driveway, I started looking around, Russ, and I got to tell you, I know concrete is cheaper. And I got a long drive. I mean, it's a 250-foot driveway, and it goes out quite a bit. So it's going to go out a good 60 feet at the end or more. So, but I thought to myself, you know what? Why don't I do pavers? Pavers look, and it all happened when my neighbor got a concrete driveway. And it looks like crap. No, it doesn't look like crap. It looks very good. It was very well done, but it's white and it's bright and it's one color. It's just
that's the way mine is right now.
Okay, and mine is asphalt right now. So I would prefer asphalt to a concrete driveway, just because that white is so damn reflective and annoying. On the other hand, On the other hand, concrete lasts for a long time, very little maintenance. Well, no maintenance, except you get cracks, possibly, if it's not done right. And then we are doing asphalt killings for our driveway, which is about 400 feet long. Killings?
Killings, pilings,
Hang on.
killings,
Pilings, I guess. It can't be pilings. Asphalt.
milling, not killing.
Okay. Okay. There you go. There you go. That's more like it. Yeah. So, I mean, I've got a choice. I could go gravel, but I don't have a single rock on the property. I'm not going to bring in rocks.
I don't think I'd want to.
And I don't like it. It's great, but look, I'm building ultimately what will be, including the garage, a 7,000 square foot house, 7,000 plus. I'm not gonna cheap out on a gravel driveway. But
Right
so I started looking. And I thought, because again, I say this all the time. It's all about balance. I don't want to spend a lot of money, but I want it to look nice. And Paul stamped concrete. Yeah, I did think about it, and I have done stamped concrete. I've worked with a concrete guy before. I mean, I don't know if you guys know my history, but 18 years in construction, and I've worked just about every discipline. It's a long story, but I'll share it another day again with my father and the gang of builders that used to swap sons, and so we could all gain all the good disciplines. That's the long and the short. That's the short of it. Well, anyway, stamped concrete is fine, except it's just as susceptible as concrete to cracking, and it doesn't look good. And I really don't like the look of it. I mean, gray. Look, I mean, it's okay, but now there are stamped concretes that look like pavers. But for that, I'll get pavers. Pavers are fantastic because, okay, parts of it sink, big deal. Lift them up, throw some sand in, bring it back up. Done. It's not like you have to tear apart the whole driveway, One gets grease on it, flip it upside down, turn it around, whatever, I could really customize some lighting. I'm going to put some LED lighting in it. I'm making my own LED lights because I can get them. Again, this is because I enjoy the electronics aspect of it. I'm going to go to a bunch of Cree LED bulbs. I've got epoxy. I've got a source for plexiglass tubing. So imagine, if you will, a 1-inch plexiglass tube cut, maybe 2 inches high. All right. All you got to do is put a Cree bulb on the end of that, wire it up in case that bottom in epoxy. Okay. And then you drill with a wet bore bit. You drill a 1-inch inside the paver, and just pop, 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 hammer it in. The wire's sealed, and all you got to do is run the wire. And if I wanted to, I could put a solar thing on the side of the whatever. I can go solar if I wanted to, but those kind of bulbs demand a lot of power. So, and I don't know. I'm still going back and forth. But back to the driveway. Look, it's a little more work, but again, it's another beautiful. It's another
value to the home.
Not only number one, it adds value. Number two, in the end, it's cheaper if I do it myself. I know I hate bending down.
Where you going?
Oh yeah, I'm not having it done. If I have it done, that'll break the bank. Well, it won't break the bank, but if you're paying in the, let's put it this way: if I have a stamped concrete contracted out, that is either half or an entire rental property that it will cost me in that area. Yeah. That's exactly it. And that's why I'd rather do it myself and bust my butt. First of all, like you said, first of all, I save money. Second of all, it adds value to the house, and it adds more value than I'm going to pay. So it actually, it's not like, oh, I'm paying $10,000 and it adds $5, like a pool. You pay $20 and it adds $10.
Yeah.
This is, I'm paying 10, it adds 20 because I'm doing the labor. And third,
Mm-hmm.
it's the pride of, again, this is why I'm doing this whole thing and not having, I could very easily forego a couple properties, buying a couple properties, and pay somebody to build the whole thing for me. Where's the fun in that? I'm going to enjoy. In fact, recently I decided, not recently, but as you know, probably a month ago, I decided I'm not having the steel building built. I'm going to do it myself. I mean, those things, it's a giant erector set. That's going to be fun, you know? So I got to rent a heavy
Yeah.
lift, or not even, because it's 12-foot high ceilings. So the most that it's going to be on the middle is you're talking 16 and a half foot to 18 and a half foot at the peak. These material lifts, that they hold 950 pounds, and it's going to be steady on the concrete base already that's there. Holds 950 pounds. I could easily lift the beams up onto the posts. You know, I guess I'll need my cousins to steady it, but for the most part, I mean,
Yeah.
I got a 25-foot lift on this thing. So I got to be careful, and I'm probably better off renting a lift, and I probably will. But still, you know,
Well, I'll tell
it's
you,
pretty.
folks, there'll be no shows during the week that he's putting the pavers down. He would be too
Oh,
tired, won't be able to get up off the
oh,
ground.
guaranteed. Pretty.
He already doesn't
Yeah.
like bending over.
When
That's the
I'm
question
when I'm
there
up there,
now.
I won't be. I'll be soldering. I may be soldering at night, but yeah, like you said, if the days that I'm doing concrete or pavers and
You'll
stuff,
be warm.
it's gonna be very tough
Ah,
for
yes,
me to
it
have a
is.
show.
My back's already hurting thinking about it.
Well, you know me. I'm going to invent
Ryan says
something.
toe behind lift is good. Trust it.
Yeah, a toe behind lift. Yeah, yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, and I'm definitely
Mm-hmm.
renting. I'm definitely renting a a man lift. What the is that called, a man lift? A single. You know those. Yeah, it's a man lift. A regular scissor lift
Mm-hmm.
for a month or so
Mm-hmm.
while I take my time and build this thing. Because then that way I can get up there with the purlins and you know, the girts I can easily do. Well, it'd be better for the girts as well. Uh, do the
Yeah.
purlins and then do the and then do all the top. I mean I mean all the sheeting, and then the ridge cap will be a pain. Maybe not. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. I mean, by the time I'm up, I'm you know, I definitely want to get some safety equipment stuff, because most likely, and I know this is dangerous, but to a certain degree, it's. I think I'm going to try to have my cousins out there or somebody out there while when I'm by myself, because just in case,
Oh,
for somebody to dial
mm,
911 or something, you know,
yeah.
even even oh, I mean, I could probably, even during the day, if you're available, Russ, I'll broadcast through StreamYard. I'll broadcast like the big picture
Mm-hmm.
from the, you know, where everybody will see everything, and then I'll have another one I'll have the phone in my pocket with a mic, and so I'll be chatting while I'm doing all of this. It's going to be slow going and stuff, but even if I don't broadcast it, at least I'll have somebody there. And God forbid anything happens,
Yeah.
you know, you got the old 911, and you got the address, so, or you will have the address.
Yeah.
So that, as they say, is that.
That's the time you'll need. That's the time you might need to see your old buddy Andrew Haig
Yeah,
come down
yeah.
and help you out.
I will definitely be calling Andrew, and I will be owing him no less than a dozen family dinners at my house. He at this point, Andrew basically has carte blanche to whenever he and his sons want to go fishing. You know, he's welcome. He's
Yeah, I
completely
hear you.
welcome. You know how, yeah, I mean, it's
Mhm.
grab my, okay, here we go, the red ones. So, yeah. Okay, this is Pulse. And this is, oh, I don't have them trimmed yet.
It would help.
So, I'm looking for that. I'm looking forward to that. And then let's see. Other than that, let's see what's new on the house front. So, like I said, I now that I'm going to be getting rid of the container. Let's see.
Did you have a? Is that a done deal on the buyer?
Well, they one of them's iffy. The one that wants to pay me a lump sum cash is iffy. The other
Right.
one,
Okay.
the other one hasn't called me back, but he seemed very interested. So I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna
Mhm.
try calling him tomorrow because I haven't called him either. But I'm gonna call him tomorrow and I'm gonna tell him, yeah, you're. I'll get to there. And yeah, a 412
Yeah.
is exactly what the
Sure.
pitch that I have. But yeah, you're right. The metal gets slick really quick. So if there's any water, I'm not, or if I sweat a lot, which I do, I got to be careful. But I'm definitely going to have
Yeah.
my safety equipment on. Um,
Yeah. The
I
guys that did my roof, they wouldn't. They didn't even work in the morning. Still, after the dew got heated up and evaporated because it was so slick.
Oh, you got a metal roof?
Yeah, we put a metal
Yeah,
roof
yeah,
on his house. Got rid of the shingles. We had shingles on there twice. Through her,
right.
blew most of them off. And I
Wow.
said, "Screw that. We're going to go back with metal." And it looks pretty snazzy, pretty good. But they told me that they don't start early because it's so wet you'd slide right off.
Yeah, I
So
like metal, but
they would
my
come late morning.
mhm. My wife's not a fan of metal roofs, so I decided, well, okay. Anything to make
Well,
her
I've
happy.
seen
Let's
some
put.
out here that they're really nice. So
I'm
we
I'm
went ahead with it. It looks good.
I'm planning a few surprises for her because, like
Oh,
for
I
instance,
don't think I'd
I
do
mean,
that.
she doesn't watch this channel, so I'll tell you
Ah,
what one of them is. But for the most part, the one of the things that I want to do is those lights I told you about. Um, so I mean, she's going to get there one day. I mean, I'm going to be basically busting my butt throughout the year, and she'll see it. She'll see it in stages because she visits maybe 3 times a year to the property. Uh, so she'll see it.
mhm.
It's like maybe she'll see the concrete, maybe she'll see the framing up, maybe she'll see the whole house built already by the time she gets back, and then the next time she'll see the driveway. You know, but whatever the case,
She's gonna hit
I
you up.
got it. What's that?
She's gonna
She's
hit
gonna
you
hit.
up on Google Earth and watch your progress.
Yeah, yeah. They're not that. I
They're not
wish
that one, but
they
it's
were.
gonna take you a year.
I, I,
They could do it.
that's true. That's true. I wish they were up to date like that, but my property
Yeah.
just recently, and it wasn't Google Earth, there was a different company that recently took a picture of my property. Let me see if they've updated it out of curiosity. Any of them, because right now, hang on. Oh, so let me tell you the story before I do that. Let me tell you the story of my of code compliance. I
Oh
got a
boy.
letter. I got a letter today. I
Yeah.
got a I got a letter today. Oh my God. Talk about, I can't believe so many people would waste their time. It's just, it gave me a chuckle. So I appreciate them spending time to give me a laugh. But I got such a chuckle out of it. Code Compliance sent me a letter saying that um, there was a complaint of an RV on my property. Now, this property, the one I'm here now, my home in Miami, there's no RV anywhere near Miami. I love it. I love it. Oh my
Right.
God.
Now,
What
where
a
the heck did
joke.
that come from?
What a joke. Well,
You think
sometimes
that
they
old boy up there? Yeah.
Nah, anybody could look up where I live if they know my address up there. They see the owners and stuff, but
Yeah.
it could, it could be anybody. And stuff like, hey, Mako, how's it going? And stuff like this, you suspect everybody at this point because have you ever had your car broken into? And then
Once.
have you ever had? Okay, let me ask you something. Did you suspect everyone you came across, even your
Actually,
friends?
no. No, because I knew who did it.
Oh,
I
okay,
had,
okay.
my ex-wife did it. My God, we weren't here, and my
Oh,
ex-wife
wow,
parked
that
on this property and went right
well,
in
yeah.
the vehicle.
Well, that's like me with the boat. I had a boat and they stole the stern drive, and it was a company that had
Oh,
installed the stern drive, and they were owed money, and I didn't pay them because they did the job wrong. So anyway, um, so they took it back. It's fine with me. Uh,
they repossessed the damn thing.
the insurance paid, so I don't care. And then I got a brand new
Yeah,
stern drive. So anyway, good evening, Glenn. How are you? And oh, Mako, tonight's
Troy
pizza
Pritchard's in the
night
house
for
as
you.
well.
Sweet, sweet. Good evening, Troy.
Hello,
Yeah,
Troy.
so yep, Troy's there. Um, yeah, Mako, it's pizza night. That's a beautiful thing. I had shish kebabs
Yep.
tonight. I made some really nice and fancy shish kebabs. Tomorrow
All
is
right.
going to be tomorrow. I'm making um Milanese chicken, Milanese style chicken. Uh, it's a breaded chicken with a bunch of spices, and then I bread the chicken, and then I put a layer of tomato sauce and then cheese, mozzarella on top, and
Hmm.
absolutely delicious. Haven't had that in a while. I always try to come up with crazy ideas because every day it's the same thing. It's either steak or chicken or 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 breaded steak or pasta. It's like I don't like fish, so it's either bread, chicken, or
Yeah.
pasta. So I mean, this week I made some beef stroganoff. Beef, but it's beef stroganoff, but that covers pasta also. So I had to do chicken and beef today. So today was chicken and beef, which was the shish kebabs. Tomorrow's chicken, but it's like the older you get, the more bored of food you get. It's sad, but anyway, yeah. Nachos. I'm back, and the nachos are coming back up too. That's a beautiful thing. So yeah,
Not around here.
so I was cracking up because here's what the letter said. The letter basically said there was a complaint of the RV. Um, an inspector came by, found no RV. The case is closed. This is like what kind of either the county is really really hard up for cash, so or rather hard up for they're bored out of their skull,
My God.
or I mean it's a possibility that it could be a satellite image, but that's kind of dumb because I haven't had the RV on this property for 2 years now. you know
Mm.
the RV's at a neighbor's
Wow.
house up there, so I'm good. And then yeah, so it's funny. It's funny. So what happens? Yeah, they I got such a kick out of it. My wife opens it up, and she goes, ah, and the other joke that we've got the other day. Oh my god, it was just so funny. So funny. I mean, I laugh at these things, but yeah, every now and then, because when you buy a property, or when you have a vacant piece of land, or when I get a lot of offers on all my properties. Uh, one of them,
Hmm.
and I won't go into details, of course, but one of my properties I purchased, it's right next to a hospital. They just finished rezoning that hospital. It was in the hood. Now
Mhm.
The whole area is being bought out for medical buildings. The whole area.
Wow.
In the last month, I've gotten no less than a dozen offers asking
Mm.
me, telling me for triple what I paid for it. Triple.
Wow.
And oh no, wow. It's worth triple that. They are out of their minds. Out of their minds. Because it's one of these, sell it for cash fast if you need it. So
Right.
that's
Yeah.
the other letter I got that my wife and I just started laughing our asses off. My vacant prop, the one I'm building on, the the one up there, my property, not the business's properties, which are under
Yeah.
separate businesses. My property, the 5 acres. They wanted to pay some crazy amount, $37,000, and they had some exact number and 21 cents. It's like, oh my God, what did they do? Pull a number out of their ass? First of
Oh my
all,
God.
first of all, we paid more than twice as much for the property 2 years ago. They're so stupid they can't even see what the property's worth. We had it appraised and it was
Mm.
double that. And that's before I started the landscape. So it was worth
Yeah.
a couple hundred grand before I started the land. The land alone is worth about 250, give or take.
Mhm.
After I finished putting the house on there, in that particular thing on a lake, 5 acres. It's well over half a million. Well over half a million. So I'm doing a lateral move here
Mhm.
from here to there. Except I'm getting a lot of land. It's a beautiful thing, but that's just such. I mean, I started laughing my ass off. Well, no, I opened up that letter. I opened up. I saw it, and I just like I gotta share this. This is one of those letters you can't just throw away. I gotta share it. My wife did the same thing with the other letter, with the complaint letter. She goes, I'd throw it away, but I had to
Mm.
share it with you, hon. So and I did the same thing. I shared it. I go, I thought you'd get a kick out of this. I wrote on the letter, and I put it on her desk. When she got home from work, she grabbed it. I'm there sitting watching TV in the recliner. She holds the letter up. She goes, "Are they on crack?"
I can
You know,
see that.
and the best part is part of the letter, it's a form letter. And the part of the letter says,
Yeah.
we can help you. We will even pay within reason. They said within reason. We will pay all your back taxes.
Well, now.
Again, again, if you did any sort of research whatsoever,
I didn't do
you
any
didn't have to
homework at
waste
all.
your if you do any homework at all, you'd see that I'm paid ahead about a year. So, oh my God, that's just I find it so funny. So funny, you know. And then yeah,
Lord.
yeah. I just I sometimes you just get a kick out of people. It is
Yeah.
what it is. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm look, I worked very, very hard. I'm I didn't get this way because I deserve it. I didn't get this way because, you know, well maybe I deserve it because I'm a nice guy.
There
And
you go.
karma's coming back my way. Well, karma's always been with me because you give you get what you give. But aside from that, I never believed I deserved any of this. I worked for it. I mean, I worked very, very hard. My wife busted her ass. Busted my ass to get where we are. It's not like you know. There's a reason I'm in the political party that I'm in. I believe
Yeah.
in hard work, and I believe in you know, and that's the thing. It's I'm due. It's not that I'm due. It's that you know I I want what I worked for. I You
I
know,
hear you.
and yeah, you understand. You know,
I do.
and no matter what, even if whatever happens that it doesn't turn out this way, I'm still look. I'm the eternal optimist, folks, and that's what you got to do. You got to be the eternal optimist. No one, not to sound smug, okay, but nobody can touch the eternal optimist. Nobody,
Yeah, that's true.
nobody.
That is
It's
true.
like the old story. You get the remember the old story of the kid with the I don't know if you ever heard the old story of the kid with the that got the bicycle, the optimist and the pessimist kids for Christmas. This is a great story. I always loved this one. This is one of my favorites. So there was this optimist and this pessimist, and the parents, the parents raised them, and one, I mean, were raising these kids, and then one is an extreme optimist. I mean, to a crazy degree, and the other one is a complete pessimist. And so the parents are going, "What can we do about this? We got to fix this because the extremes are just bad." And I don't believe that optimistic extreme is bad. Pessimistic extreme, absolutely. So these are extremes. We can't have this. So the parents decide. Um, no, I haven't. Oh yes, actually, no. I'll tell you a story about that, Glenn. Hold that thought. And yes, I kind of do like it, but hold that thought. So the optimist, so the parents said, you know what? Let's do this. This Christmas, we're going to give our gifts some presents, right? Now we need to really pick up the pessimist. So we need to get him something that, I know he's been wanting a bike, and he should get we're going to give him a really nice top of the line bicycle for Christmas. This young kid, the
Hmm.
pessimist. And well, what do we do with the other one? Well, with the other one, he needs to be taken down a notch. Let's see if we're gonna just. I'm sorry, but let's just give him a load of crap, a load of dung.
Oh
So
boy.
we'll just put that. We'll put that right in the front yard, so we don't want to bring it in the living room, but the front yard. We'll just put a big huge pile of it there, and there. So the next Christmas morning comes around, and the kids wake up, and the pessimist goes, "Oh, look, you got a bike." And then the parents go, "You better read the name tags." And so the the kid reads the name tag, and the pessimist goes, "Oh, it's not your bike, it's my bike." Ah, okay. Well, it's probably too big for me. And then he gets on the bike and goes, "Oh no, I see it. I see it's the right size, but you know what? I I don't know. Riding this bike, I'm probably going to get a flat tire somewhere. I'm not going to know how to change the tire. The chain's going to break. It's going to catch on my leg and stuff. This is horrible. This is probably the worst Christmas ever. I've got the worst gift." And the parents are going, "We can't win. We can't win." So they go, "Son, I believe your present's out in the front yard." So they go to the optimist. "I believe your present's out in the front yard." So they send him out to the front yard. No longer does he open the door, then he just runs out and dives into the pile of crap. Just dives in it. He's swimming in it. He's sloshing all around, and the parents have got, "This kid lost his
Oh,
mind." He goes, "Son, what the hell is wrong with you?" He goes, "Man, can you imagine the size of the pony that made this? It's got to be in here somewhere."
oh, that's
So,
horrible.
so, so I mean, you know, but honestly, it's like people say, here's what I've had this discussion with people, and they will always fall back on the same thing. No, a pessimist is never disappointed, and an optimist is always disappointed. And you're not thinking straight. By definition, a pessimist is always disappointed. If he thinks the
Yeah.
worst and something happens that's different, if he's a pessimist, he will still think the worst. Not to mention the fact that while he was thinking the worst, he was miserable. I always
Hmm.
think the best. I always think the best of, I always think what's going to come is going to come great. Something bad happens to me and it didn't happen to me. I feel sorry for whoever else it happened. You know, if somebody does me wrong, it's for a reason. And it's usually them that gets, because 9 times out of 10, you know, and I end up always in a lump of crap looking for a pony. I mean, I mean, in the end, in the end, for me, it's all about happiness. And uh yeah, there are bumps in the road when you're not going to get that pony. Well, you wash yourself off and the next day you still got the hope of getting a pony. You know, so
Yeah.
but what I'm getting at is an optimist, if he looks forward to something and it doesn't come through, he's not depressed. He is an optimist. He looks forward to something else, or he turns whatever into his advantage. You know, any you can. There's a reason why most people love movies about about tragedy happening to somebody, but they never break their spirit. You know,
Yeah.
because we all put ourselves in that position, and the ones that always have their spirit broken, I feel sorry for them. The ones that never have their spirit broken can really recognize that. Break me, do all you can. Okay, I'll do a Star Trek thing. There was an episode of Star Trek where Worf was fighting the Jem'Hadar. You remember the one? He was fighting in the ring, and he would not give up. And in the end, just before they got beamed away, in the end, they go, I can kill him, but I can't beat him. You know, and
Hmm.
he understood, and that's the whole concept. I mean, folks,
Yeah.
be optimistic, be happy, be hopeful. That's what life is all about. If you live your life being hopeful, you're always happy. And you, in the end, look, I have it's funny, but there's a lot of people that say, "Oh, I hope I don't die. I still have a lot to live for." And then, well, yeah, and I understand that sentiment. We all feel that way. But at the same time, I can tell you right now that on a few occasions, I said I could die now and my life is fulfilled, and I die happy.
Hmm.
And when I got married, when I had kids, but I mean, obviously you don't want to, and I've got plenty of life left to lead. But
Hmm.
the fact that I'm good is another um is another beautiful optimistic viewpoint. And
Yeah.
you gotta be that way, guys. You gotta be that way. Look, I'm not sitting around going, "Oh my God, I wish I had money like my buddy Jeff. Oh God, he's got so much money. He's got a few houses in Coral Gables, and he doesn't have to work and this and that." And yes, why am I jealous of him? I mean, I'm not. why? Why would I be? It's like everybody's at different levels. I know some people that are destitute, living in an RV, renting for what, $300 a month or $200 a month. I mean, in a really horrible area, and they are 10 times as happy as I am. And they shouldn't be pitied; they should be envied. You know,
Yeah.
and it's all relative. I mean, it's all,
Yeah, that's exactly
and
right.
it's relative. It's
Relative.
relative to yourself, not to anybody else. I mean, I don't know. I have I got my a person I know. I won't say who. A person I know was upset because she's upset at a friend, and because the friend is always, turns her nose up and and arrogant, and always showing that air of being better than everybody else.
Superiority, yeah.
Superiority. And my advice to my friend is, the only reason you feel that way is because, no, the only reason she's doing that is because she's insecure. The only reason it bothers you is because you're insecure. Anybody that's not insecure doesn't have a problem with anyone else, being friends or otherwise. They don't get angry they don't get butthurt at minor things that people say, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
So, I tried to give that advice, but one thing that I know from personal experience from my life, and luckily I've gotten over it. But this is a lesson in life. Um, One thing that I know is, especially for the young, and for some old people too. I've met people 20 years older than me, 10 and 20 years older, that have not learned this lesson. Sometimes people have to experience things themselves in order to learn. And it is the smart person, it is the intelligent person, it is the wise man or woman that can learn without experiencing that. For instance, um, the fact that this friend of mine was insecure, I can't just tell her what the issue is, even though she trusts my judgment, and she may or may not believe me, but until she goes through the school of hard knocks and becomes secure, she's bound to make the same mistake over and over and over, you know? And I went through that. And that's why I ask people, whatever it is, whether it's a woodworking lesson, or whether it's a life lesson, or whether it's how to treat people, I basically ask people, what would you do in this circumstance? And I listen. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it may look like I'm doing the opposite thing. Sometimes I may argue, but the only reason I argue is because I want to be absolutely certain. Because you don't learn by listening to the wrong advice. You learn by listening to the right advice. So anyway, what I'm getting at is, you know, if you're wise enough and lucky enough and blessed enough to be able to absorb stuff just by watching other people's failures, then
Mm-hmm.
hooray for you. Because, and a lot of us do already for some things, but not
Yeah.
everybody doesn't do it for everything. So, have I ever tried farm raised trout? People that dislike fish like it. Well, I will say this. I will say this to that comment. While I hate fish, I'm crazy about Arthur Treachers or Long John Silvers. I don't know which one you have in your. They're both interchangeable to me. Arthur Treachers or Long John Silvers, which is those basically, obviously, yeah, it's battered and deep fried, but which partially makes it good. But I believe it's cod. If it's fish that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't taste like fish, like cod, then I like it. And trout is like that. Trout, I like certain pieces of trout. In no way, shape, or form will I ever have salmon again. I had it once ages ago, and just the smell of it is repugnant, which is basically the smell of fish for me. You know, mahi mahi,
Yeah.
same thing. There's something now. Dolphin's good. Um, there's a mullet. Mullet's good.
Yeah.
Again,
I find it kind
fried.
of funny that you are in the sport fishing capital of the friggin' world in Miami,
Yeah,
and you don't like fish. It makes sense to me. I don't understand that one. The
Maine,
preference
Maine,
of the plethora of fish down there.
Maine may have a corner on the market on lobsters with claws, but we got the corner of the market on
Lots-
lobsters without
Yeah.
claws. Can't stand lobster. I don't like lobster or
Either.
crab in the slide. First of all, it's too much work. But second of all,
I can't eat
uh,
crabs. Don't
I,
like them.
I do not like lobster or crab because
Nor me.
it feels like you're chewing forever and and there's no flavor. I'm chewing a piece of wood bark is what it feels like. And the flavor that it does
Now,
have
see,
is
I say,
bad. Now,
yeah,
yeah, you can
I
dip it
love
in
shrimp,
butter.
but I don't like lobster. I do not like lobster at all.
And see, and then people will argue, but wait, you can dip it in butter. That's why you dip it in butter. No, no, no.
Yeah.
I have something to say about that. I don't like lobster dip. I don't like lobster dipped. I love butter, but I don't like lobster dipped in butter because I don't like lobster.
Mhm.
Butter enhances the flavor. Doesn't it covers up bland or lousy flavors, but it enhances good flavors. For instance, corn on the cob. Oh,
Mhm.
soak that
Oh,
thing in
yes.
butter. Dip it in butter every time just before you take a bite. That's how much
Yes,
butter I
indeed.
want on it. Bread, obviously. Mashed potatoes, yeah, buttery. Popcorn, buttery. Almost
Mhm.
everything you can throw butter on. Things that you don't throw butter on. Grits. Okay, some of you in the South may disagree.
I'm a grits
Um,
man.
but I've never been. I love oatmeal. Oatmeal I like,
Mhm.
but oatmeal's got a good taste. Grits does not. I like corn. I love corn. Maybe,
Grits taste.
maybe, maybe I've never had a good plate of
Let me
grits.
let me let me just say, grits taste like what you put with them. Now I have
There's
grits.
the problem. That's a problem.
When I have grits,
That's
I
like
put
eating tofu.
fried egg. I put
Yeah,
fried egg in my grits, and I take.
yeah.
That's the only way I will eat an egg over easy is to put it in grits.
Oh, have you
Now
tried it
I tear that
with white?
up in
Have you
a
tried
minute.
it with white rice?
What egg?
Yeah.
My mother used to make white rice and put fried egg up. It was like fried rice, but it wasn't fried.
Yeah.
So now my
Yeah.
mother would. Well, I love the crap out of that.
Yeah. That's
But
awesome stuff. Yeah, I
my
love that.
wife, will eat grits, but she only puts sugar in her grits. That's the only way she will eat them.
Wow.
And I said, "Man, you're making me sick looking at that." But when I take my grits and I put that egg over easy in there, mix it all up, a little salt and pepper, I'll tear it up, buddy. That's what I like to get at Waffle House.
Yeah, I've yet to find a good.
Oh,
Maybe I'll
grits, man.
try it. Maybe I'll try it at Waffle House. But I've yet to find a good grits. To me, just taste like nothing.
They don't. They're nothing until you put something with them.
Well, that's a
I
problem.
don't eat
That's
them.
like I gotta tell you, that's like eating tofu. Tofu is nothing until you put something with it.
I'm not going to eat tofu even with something with it. Do it. I
I don't.
can't make myself do it.
I well, neither can I. But and partially, I think it's because the name sounds like toe food. So It's too close to, oh, you change one word and it becomes toe jam. I don't think I want that. I don't think I want to eat that at all. No. Definitely not. Definitely not. So, yeah.
Well,
But
anybody
anyway.
out there got anything that you want to talk about food wise?
Yeah.
Except for
Tonight,
Chris Nachos coming back up.
yeah, tonight's food night. And let me go grab another.
It's
Start grabbing another one of these because I'm done with this one. Oh, no. I still got the 4 of these to do. Okay, good. Let me do that. Yeah. I loves me my food.
I do too. And it was on me too.
Yep. But yeah, like I said, folks, my best advice to everybody here is stay happy. Stay happy no matter what. Don't let, it's
Don't worry.
don't worry, be happy. No, and here's something funny about that song. Here's something funny about that song. I may or may not have told you the story of a girl that I once was obsessed with in 1988, and it was just
I think you have.
yeah, it was my learning experience. It was my
Mm-hmm.
one of my most wonderful changes. And again, this is karma. This is karma. I was insecure. I was obsessed with her. And in the end, she did me wrong one too many times where the switch just went off. And all of a sudden, I went from Mr. Insecure, boy, why can't she see how wonderful I am, to what the hell am I doing? I'm awesome. And, not to sound cocky, but that's deep down inside. That's, I didn't just say it to myself. This is the first time I actually believed it. And I don't mean awesome
Yeah.
like to brag or anything like, yeah, I'm the best ever kind of thing. No. It's just I felt really confident in myself to the point that that was the day everything changed. That was the day that before that day, if somebody was not my friend, it was I was I don't want to say I was desperate for friendship, but I was always the nice guy, and I still have that habit now that I but that's just me. That's I try to be nice to people, not to get them to like me, but just because it's become a habit. But there was a time where I was nice to people. This is before, I think, in my grade school mostly, but there was a time where I was nice to people because, if they didn't like me, there was something wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
And well, let me tell you, after that moment, I became uh Mr. I realized that while it takes two to be friends, it takes two to be friends. I know that for a fact, and I have so many friends. It's not even funny. I mean, why? Because I've made it a habit to call once every couple months, once every 6 months for some people. I mean, it doesn't change. We're still friends. I mean, I've had friends that are old friends, and they've got their lives. I've got my lives, but we're still very close friends. And we don't, we're not in the same circles anymore because, again, they've got
Mm-hmm.
their family. I've got my family. Sometimes we live in separate cities, but we call each other to see what's going on and stuff. Most of them now, the Facebook is real nice, so you get to see them all. But there's nothing like a
Yeah.
face-to-face phone call or a face-to-face talk.
Mm-hmm.
Text is crap when it comes to that. You cannot communicate through text. If you are
Right.
if you are ever trying to get the right attitude or the truth out of anybody, text is the opposite. The opposite. Because no matter what, you will have your filters on. So if you don't like the person,
Mm-hmm.
everything they say is wrong. If you love the person, everything they say is right. You know, this is why I like uh, you know, YouTube and face-to-face communication. We may not know each other's heights, but I could see your inflections,
Mm-hmm.
your mannerisms. So I see that. The
Mm-hmm.
only thing bad about this is that this still offers an opportunity to go click, and then the and oh, I don't want to talk to him anymore, and now I could just ignore him. You know, to a certain
Yeah.
degree. You're still part of the community. You're still going to have to be there, but you can ignore. Whereas when the person's a next door neighbor or a close friend, you go over to his house. It's a whole. You can't just ignore him. You got to end it clean. But when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
my lesson back like I said, I learned something extremely valuable, and that is I swore from then, if somebody did not want to be my friend, I wasn't going to be that guy. I wasn't going to be that guy that's,
Mm-hmm.
I will apologize for anything I did wrong. If they can't be Christian enough to forgive and forget, because, Jesus didn't say,
Mm-hmm.
forgive and I'll forget you. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Or if they can't be man enough to accept somebody's, uh, heartfelt apology, then if they don't want to be your friend, there's no reason that you would ever have to contact them or force them to be your friend again. It's you move on. You move on.
Yeah.
I'm at that point I learned I was far more valuable than any one person. Well, I mean, I am one
Mm-hmm.
person, but you know what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm than any one person's opinion of me. In fact, no other
Yeah.
person's opinion of me. And so, it was funny because I went. She put me through hell. She put me through hell. That one person, and let me make
Mm-hmm.
sure I got my. I want to make sure I got my. I always pull one of these out just to make sure I got the connections right, because I mean I always do, but just in case. Yeah, that's that, and that. Okay. Um, but I'll tell you, best thing I ever learned. Best. I will never. It was a beautiful karma moment. You know,
Mm-hmm.
she taught me. Well, I taught myself something, but she, through the way she was, and through the way I was, I learned something, and became a better person. And yin yang, she became a worse person.
Mm-hmm.
I still pray for her that she ended up with a couple of divorces and kids that are my I don't want to say anything, but I knew the teacher personally of
Yeah.
one of her kids, and that kid is destined to a very challenged life
Hmm.
in prison.
Oh
No,
boy.
not that bad, but almost. He is, bottom of the barrel type stuff, but and what comes around goes around, my friend.
I hear you.
So it's not just attitude. I can't just say, "Oh, everything's going to happen to me," and well, I mean, this is again the opinions expressed in this show are strictly mine, and not the yada yada yada.
And
But
possibly do not reflect on the co-host, but then again, they
possibly
might.
do not reflect on the yeah, exactly. But it's not just have a great attitude, because it's be a good person. Because when those two things are combined, I am the eternal optimist, and I pride myself in being as giving as I can. And the days I do screw
Mm-hmm.
up, or the days I put more faith in someone than I you know than is warranted, you know, it,
Mm-hmm.
I apologize. The days I screw up, it's I'm sorry. And if and I've been through many times where I've apologized to a dear friend. They have accepted my apology, and our bond has just gotten that much stronger, because that's what happens. That's how you form true bonds. That's how you form true friendships. That's how you form solid marriages. I mean, there's a reason, and not to get all religious on anybody. There's a reason Jesus uh, uh, preached forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple reasons, but anyway, it's good for the soul. It's good for you in general. Is what I'm saying. Here, I keep losing these. Here they are, hiding right behind me here. My little plugs here. But yeah, folks, be happy and so okay. Back to that. So I was telling you about this girl. Well, I almost forgot about why I was mentioning it. That year, that was 1988, and that was the year of hell for me. Well, not really. I have a lot of fun. Again, optimist. I have a lot of good memories. Her family, and she's wonderful too. She's a very good person. So don't let me paint her as a horrible person. It's just a mismatch. The chemistry just wasn't there for us. That's all. You know. And I did dodge a bullet because the way she
Yeah.
was with others. But on the other hand, it's you never know what would have happened. Her family's wonderful, and her niece and nephews or I mean her nieces and nephew, sister, and I've known the family for years. Anyway, there was a song, Red Red Wine, Bobby McFerrin, that came out, and that song, we spent a good summer together. We spent the summer at Daytona. We spent the summer in a lot of places, and let me tell you, that was a great time. And I had my boat. I would take her out on the boat, and we'd always be listening. I mean, come on. We're talking Miami. We're talking summer. We're talking beach. I was always listening to that song and others. She loved that song. She liked to drink wine. So in the end,
Oh
it
yeah.
it's a very strong reminder of those times. But I don't look at it as a bad reminder. I look at those times very fondly. And I'll look at these times very fondly too. Whatever issues I may have now,
Mhm.
they're already beginning to subside. They're already going away, and I heal quickly. It's again the optimist. There's another one. Heals very quickly, forgives easily, and in the end, time heals all wounds. That's not just a saying; it's the truth.
Uh,
So
in the
so
chat,
there we go.
Glenn is giving you a bunch of ways to cook fish.
Yeah, 50% butter, 50% Crisco, fish soaked in milk, then egg wash and breaded with Ritz. Ooh, I gotta
Oh,
try
that'd
that.
be really tasty.
I gotta try that on chicken. No, I gotta
Yeah.
try that on fish. But yeah, it's an idea. 50% butter,
Oh,
50%
you make
Crisco,
him forget the
fish
second one. He's using salmon on the
soaked
second
in
one.
milk, then egg wash, and then breaded with Ritz crackers. You know what? That's thank you, Glenn, because while I don't know if I'll try it for fish, I've been looking for new recipes, and I'm definitely gonna try because see, my daughter likes the one that's still here living with us. The other one's out. My daughter loves uh, the steaks with cracker meal. I like them with breading. you know, we always do an egg wash first. I do anyway. Um, but and obviously when I do chicken marsala, it's flour that I
Mm.
toast them in. So it's either so I've tried flour, I've tried um, cracker meal, and I've tried breading. Haven't tried Ritz crackers yet. That's gotta be delicious. I gotta try that. And deep fried, of course. Let me see
I have
here.
never heard of Ritz cracker meat.
Second is small bits of salmon with sunflower oil, soaked in milk, egg wash, panko breading, and lemon pepper. No, I can tell you right now, I'm not gonna like that. I mean, yeah, not a salmon fan. Third is to bake. Fourth is to boil with a. See, okay. Well, here's another one. Here's another one for you. The baking, I understand, but I'm a deep fried guy. It gets rid of the taste of the fish.
I am too.
The the boiling, no. I'm not a boiling person. And you say with a shot of vinegar, well, there's definitely a deal breaker. I don't know if I've ever I don't know if I've ever told you the story of me and vinegar, but I will tell you the story of me, and I'll leave that up, and I'll tell you the story of myself and vinegar. You're always up for a good story, right? Okay, well, 14 years old, very impressionable, somewhat. 14 years old, and I remember as if it was yesterday. Uh, we went to Long Key. It's one of the keys in the Keys, in the Florida Keys. And we used to go quite often. My dad worked during the week, and then we'd take off for the weekend, go on the boat to off the Keys and stuff. Well, we went to Long Key, and then we found this little hideaway. There's a lot of little nooks and crannies that anybody can go into, and so I found this. It was fantastic. It was like, imagine there was a small little river in the middle of a bunch of uh, mangroves, and there was this beautifully. I mean, I've very few times have I come across a white beach as white as this. That was kind of silly, but my brother and I, we sat down. He's 11, I'm 14, and we were sitting down baking cakes. That was always being creative and inventive. And when I say baking cakes, I mean I had the flour, which was the white sugar. I had the sugar. I mean the white sand. I had the sugar, which was the other white sand. I had the and I had some others. I had 3 or 4 or 10 ingredients. I have no idea why I did this. Probably because I may have seen my mom bake a cake recently, or the lady that took care of us, the housekeeper, bake a cake, and so I found it really curious, and so I was showing my brother how to bake a cake. So we had some plastic cups and pails and shovels and stuff, and so I'm there. We dig a hole to and throw all the different things in there and swirl it around, and then all of this goes in the pail. We put the pail in the hole. We put all the different ingredients. We shake it around. And then, of course, we pour the egg batter, which is the seawater. And eventually, turn it upside down. It's a beautiful cake. That was our afternoon. All right. So when we got tired of that, which lasted all of 10 minutes because, we're 11 and 14, short attention span, we started going out. Now, my dad was out on the shore with the cast net. It was catching sardines. My brother loves to fish. I did it one time, and then so he went out with my dad, following him wherever, and helping him, or pulling the wrong cord and losing the fish, whichever the case may be. And then me, I decided I'd go off on my own. I had my snorkel, I had my fins, and I had my mask. So I went off snorkeling. The Keys are beautiful to snorkel. At least they were back then. So overpopulated now. Well, anyway, my mom on the beach, upside down, in the sun. I don't know about suntan or not, but it was really bad. And when I say really bad, I mean we were there. I can't tell you how many hours I was there. Luckily, I had a shirt on, but the back of my arms red as tomatoes, and that was just from me snorkeling in the water. Red as tomatoes. That's how bad it was. We all came home with sunburns, but my mom, it was severe. It was severe. I've never seen skin so red, so pink and so red in my entire life. I mean, it was red. She was in pain. She couldn't get in the car. It was really really bad. Well, that evening, she asked me to put some vinegar on her back because I don't know why, but apparently vinegar. I don't know. I still to this day don't know why. I think it soothes you. I don't know. Might be a home remedy that I don't know of. But she was basically upside down on the bed, still in her bathing suit, and I put vinegar on her back and stuff. And for the rest of that day, because I think this was the next day, for the rest of that day, anytime you walked into a room, it just smelled of vinegar. And your mom lying there with vinegar, it's just, and the smell of vinegar for 2 or 3 days. No, that just left such an indelible impression, and not a good one, in me, that to this day, I really can't stand the smell of vinegar. Don't like ketchup because I can taste the vinegar in it. Don't like mustard. I can taste the vinegar in it. Can't stand pickles. I can really taste the vinegar in that. So I don't like anything with vinegar, with the exception of I think they put vinegar in Caesar dressing. I think I got in the custom. But anyway, most things. So that being said, I'm definitely not boiling salmon, one of the foods I hate the most, in vinegar, one of the condiments I hate the most. And with that, folks,
And on that note, I'm gonna have to call it a
yeah,
night.
I'm calling it a night as well. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed this wonderful session of chatting with Javi, and I will see you for tomorrow's show. Jamie Page will be on next week. Will be a special on insulation. I know it's a little strange, but they don't call it Javi Unboxed for something. I'm going to somehow work CNC into it, folks. So there will be something with CNC, but it will be mostly on house insulation, particularly radiant barriers and everything else. So, eat more fish. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and eat more fish.